podcast. While I'm seated in an office, I'm going to talk about agricultural practices, of which the intention is to enlighten people that the office people, when they go into farming, they should do whatever they are doing basing on to their experiences, what the objectives are, what their capacity is, and what their future plans are. There's something that has really always been intriguing me about dairy farming. There are many people who want very sophisticated dairy farming, very high breeds, 100%. You know, the term that the function of milk production is genetics and care, which I solely agree with, especially those that are in the corporate world who are doing dairy farming specifically for milk. To me, when I entered into dairy farming and farming in general, I had a much wider perspective or goal. Truth be said is that I don't look only at milk. I'm lucky that I'm getting large quantities of milk per day, and because I have a large herd, many lactating cows. We milk over 40 cows every day. Certainly, even if each one was giving you 5 liters, and we milk twice in a day, you'll have a substantial amount of milk. But the rate to which people are agitating for, you rather have one hybrid or two or four, especially imported from Kenya or genetics developed, to have 2 cows or 3 or 4, each one 15 liters, and most of them now are putting the baseline at 35, each one giving you 35, that out of 4 cows, you are able to get 140 or 150 liters per day. And the argument is, having 4 cows, hybrid, is better than having 20 or 25 or 40 cows, because the 4 can give you more milk. It's true they can give you more milk. But what I've noted is that they can only give you a lot of milk if you give them first-class care. They eat a lot and they eat sophisticated stuff, which you most likely must buy. They don't eat ordinary. First of all, the initial capital on them is high because of most of the 35 milkers per day. They're costing 12 million and above, meaning that the 4 cows, you'll have to part with about 50 or 60 million. And they need to live in a very good environment, in which case the initial capital and plus the maintenance cost is high. I don't mean that I intended to change people their views, but this is my view. Instead of having 8 hybrid cows, that is about 100 million, I would rather buy the ones of 4-5 million and have 40. Because even if the 40 or 80 or 100 plus that I have do not give me as much milk as the one who has 12 hybrid heifers, I run less risks. This I'm deriving, that's why I'm talking about this when I'm in an office environment other than on the farm, is to educate people about calculating or spreading of risks. Certainly for one who has 4 hybrid cows, there will be a time when they are not being milked, and you'll have a high shortage of milk. If there are 4, at least 2 could be milking and the other 2 could be pregnant. And then that means your milk will go down. But number 2, they require intensive care. The rate at which people lose, and you can call it negligence, but a hybrid is a hybrid. The rate to which an infection in the morning, if not well attended to, by 2 days, you might be counting your losses high. So, as a technical person, I always prefer to spread my risks. And I prefer and will always insist to have many more cows. If I've reached an extent of having 100 hybrid, which are very difficult to manage, then I'll reach that stage and I'll accept it. But I have about 150 cows, and I know how easily they are to manage, because many of them sleep in the compound. Many of them eat ordinarily, and they give me substantial milk because of the numbers. But there is something that is more, and which most people actually do not talk about, is that a hybrid cow does not give you 2 heifers in a year. If you have 8 or 10, you will have 8 calves per year. But if I have 100 cows, I'm most likely going to have 7 calves in a year. And when you have 70 calves, about 30 or 35 are going to be bulls. You raise them, and as soon as they reach 4 or 5 months, you sell them. And that's what I'm doing. And I leave mostly the female ones. I sell the bulls when they are 4, 5, 6 months. I sell between 600 up to about 900,000. It is one of the best ways of getting a certain lump sum amount of money. Let those that are targeting milk tell me any single day when they have pocketed 25 million, which I pocket from every time I say I'm disposing of the young bulls and remain with the female ones. To me, numbers are numbers. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. There is no way, even if for you, you are getting a higher output per cow, and for me, less output. But because I have many, I still run several other advantages of having many. The first one that I've talked about, spreading of risks. The number 2, even if the milk is not a lot, but the quality of milk is not the same. I want to go on record onto this matter. At the start, I used to sell my milk to corporate entities until when I had issues with the way how they pay. They make you wait and wait and wait. I am assuring you, anyone can check. My milk, as they're milking it in the morning, the vans that are going to take it are waiting. And so is the afternoon milking. So my milk is taken in the morning and in the afternoon every day. Saving cost, now I have a cooler. It is nearly redundant because we have now no more milk to put into the cooler. Why is my milk highly sought? Because word has gone round the whole of Mukono, it has now reached Kampala, that if you are making yogurt, there is a man who is keeping natural cows, whose milk content is very good, that you can make any flavor of yogurt that you want, and it comes out very well. In fact, on record, the bulk of my milk is not bought to be consumed as tea. It is mostly bought for making of yogurt, because I don't feed my cows onto exotic feeds. It is my Napier grass, fresh these days, and some bit of silage, and maize bran. They are not going to give me 20 liters, but the concentration of the milk from my cows is so good in making of flavors of yogurt and other products than other 35-liter cows. And you can ask the price that you want. You actually need your high milking cows. You actually need, I might get 10 liters and ask for the right price that is equivalent to your 35 liters. I repeat, I'm on record to show to you that come to my farm and you'll find that at the time of milking, the van that is or boarders that are waiting to take it are already there. And they take it from the cow, purifying it, and it is taken every single day, whether it has rained or it is shining. And only because the milk from these cows that are not high yielding, the quality of milk is concentrated and good. I don't mean the milk from the other cows is not good, but the people, the clients vote. The clients vote by showing you the demand. I have had to cut off. Truth be said that we even have schedules. You don't take Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday because other people will not get. I think my people, there are 4 people who are sharing. You take on Monday. For me, I'll take on Wednesday. Please, you also allow me to supply my customers because these people are taking the bulk of the milk for making of yogurt. Milk that is not produced like from a tap has a higher concentration and it gives you a higher quality milk. And that's why they go for it. As I said, number 2 is the number of calves. I tend to have many more calves in a year. You can see the calves that I get every year. And I sell off the bulls. Number 3, and the most important to me, is the cow dung, the manure. The higher the number of cows that you have, the more manure you get. So we get 3 trucks of manure every day. People don't know. A truck of manure is 120,000. That's 360,000. How much of that in terms of liters of milk do you get? So I prefer the one that will give me even more other vertical integration approaches. It's the manure that I use to put into my banana and coffee plantations. I'm even going to be growing horticulture. I'm pouring a lot of manure to boost my other farming activities. So essentially that is my point, but don't take my advice plainly, because to have many more cows, it depends also on to having the ability. So I'm able to advocate for large herds of cattle because I have a lot of land, have a lot of pasture, so I can afford to feed them. So I cannot have feed for 400 heads of cattle, whether giving me 400 liters of milk. 200 heads of cattle, give me 200 liters, and then you advise me to keep 8 or 10 because they're high milkers. The end goal might be the same, but I'm mindful of the keyword spreading of risks. The more cows that you have, the better of spreading of risks, either in terms of diseases or anything. And lastly, it's inheritance. I don't know if you have 2 or 3 or 4 cows that are high yielding cows, and God forbid you pass on. I don't know how they are going to split them. At least my grandfather, who died in 1956, he had so many cows in Rukola. My father, who might be watching this, is a beneficiary of the cows that he got from his father when his father died in 1956. He managed to get several cows that he used to pay to the driving school to learn driving. So the more cows that you have, the bigger the inheritance that you give to your children. So if you have 4 high-yielding cows and you have 8 children, will you slaughter them? At least I'm a Muslim. The Sharia requires that the properties are shared evenly amongst the beneficiaries. So I want to keep as many cows so that my father in his inheritance gets as many cows as he can load onto a truck. And my children in their inheritance, if they want to take it or sell it onto the farm, get as many cows as they can have. So it is a broader aspect that I'm talking about. So the aspect of having fewer high-yielding versus many mid-range is, my views are premised onto that arrangement. Thank you.